Good day, everybody. This is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very much. Really do. So today's video is going to be on Australia and how I think the land down under is going down under. So I'm going to start with Canada. I put out a video a couple months ago called Canada, it was called Canada H2O. Link is in the description. I'm talking about how I am observing, okay, all of this of Canada just seems to be, and you notice how I dodged Ottawa there? Sweet. It's just being engulfed with water, okay? And whenever this journey we're on ends, I have a feeling all of this is going to be lake or ocean or whatever. I'm only saying this because each time we shift, Canada, the northern part of Canada, all the northern parts, like just all along right here, the coast, all around Hudson Bay and James Bay, it's just lakes. Like, look at this. Like, really take the time to think of how large this scale is. That's 37 miles, okay? But it's everywhere. Just take your time. Go get Google Earth. Take your time to scan all of Canada. Like, look at this. That's freaking ridiculous. Like, look at that. Okay? It's getting worse and worse. I could do this in Manitoba. Like, look at Manitoba. Look how spotty that is. I could do this in Northern Ontario. Look how spotty it is. I could do this in Northern Quebec and all over Quebec, actually. Alright? But, so, that's my little theory. I put out a video a long time ago. I said, watch out, guys. The world is being flooded. Okay? No joke. I'm still standing by that theory. Not the whole world like Noah's flood. Not like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about we're getting new land, too. Remember who I said in all my videos. This whole ocean, this whole part of the ocean, Pacific, was just... only the Hawaiian Islands were there, with maybe Christmas Island and Easter Island and maybe a couple spotty other islands. But now there's islands everywhere. Like all these seamounts you see on the ground, all those little white dots, those were never there before. This large gash right here, light blue stuff, these two long gashes, never there before. So in the ocean we have new land. On land we have new water. So let's look at Australia. Let's notice two things about Australia now these days that I noticed. So I love Australia for two reasons. One, I love the people there. I think they're really cool, chill, okay? Two, I love the landscape. Guys, if you know my channel, you know I love going to the States, and I go to Arizona, I go to the Midwest. I love Monument Valley. I love that type of terrain. I love, Colorado. I love how it's a mixture of desert with forest. It's my favorite thing in the world. Australia has the same thing, but now it's got a little bit more green. There used to be way more red, and it was more predominant. It used to be much redder than that. And I'm talking red like this type of red right here. Hold on, let me get rid of that. This type of red. Okay? Not some shady, faded red like this, like deep red. Like, oh my god, is that on fire red? Like the whole, like the inner core was like that. Now it's just some spotty little Simpson desert. Could have been the same name, I don't know. Now it's tiny. It's this tiny little thing, okay? The desert is receding, it seems like, okay? Look how much vegetation there is now. Look at the green. I know it's not green like Papua New Guinea and the Philippines and all that stuff, but look, it's starting. It's got to start somewhere, right? Look at it all around. And you guys are like, yeah, that's because it's near the ocean. Don't give me that. I understand the science behind photosynthesis and plants and water. What I'm talking about is this used to be much redder, and I never seen this much green on Australia in my life. So now that I've gotten that part of the way, those two things, I've marked. So remember how I showed you Canada and how it was riddled with lakes? Well, now Australia is being riddled with lakes. Each one of these is a giant lake, okay? when I scanned Australia and I'd look for Ayers Rock, because I would do that to myself sometimes. I'm like, hey, look for Ayers Rock, but I wouldn't Google it. I'd be like, use your mind. So I'd have to scan in. I would be like, oh, it's here, and I'd just be back and forth all over Australia. I would never come across a lake. Okay, I would never come across a lake. Okay, Lake Coniny. You know what I mean? Lake Short. Oh, I remember marking that one. Lake From. I'm not going to zoom in on everyone, but listen. These definitely would have stood out to me. Forest Lakes. Oh, look, Forest with 2 R's. So, I'm telling you guys, I'm very observant. I know what I'm doing on Google Earth. All right, I know there's gonna be trolls going, yeah, whatever, Lone Eagle, blah blah blah. Yeah, bring it, okay, bring it. I know what I'm talking about here. There were never this many bodies of water. This would have stood out when I was looking for that rock that I was telling you about. I would have come across. First off, it was in a much. This red was much larger, and I was looking in that red for that rock. It took me a long time. Now it's a small area. I could scan this freaking little area of red in no time at all. Listen, we all know Australia is changing, and Australia is probably the #1 most noticeable change of the Mandela Effect due to for geography. Okay, sorry, I'm stumbling on my words because I'm very passionate right now. I'm like on fire right now, guys. And look, these lakes. They're trying to connect. It's like this is it's removing the shackles. Dani and that other girl. Oh my god, as if I forgot her name. It's the other girl. She called it the Earth was an organic motherboard, and I'm like, that makes so much sense, man. Because like water is just appearing out of nowhere. Look, it looks like it's reaching. It looks like it's reaching. And I've been saying this my whole Google Earth channel, my whole channel. I've been saying. It looks like water is reaching, and it looks like land is reaching as well. I didn't know what they were called back in the day, but they're called tributaries, and I'm like, all these tributaries, they look like, deltas. They look like they're reaching to land. You know what I mean? Like, look right here. You see this? And I called it the venom. Remember the symbiote? I was comparing it to venom. I'll just pull up a quick picture for those who don't know what I'm talking about. Venom is a cartoon character. And he's got this suit on him it's a symbiote, and it's a living organism. And you see what I mean? How it looks like it's reaching. Like these are like tentacles, and they're always reaching for something, right? This is Carnage. This is another dude, and I love this guy. I have his first comic. I love that I have his first comic. But anyway, it's like what these are doing. I compared it to that a long time ago, and I'm telling you guys, this water is reaching to the land. It's separating the land. Like, I guarantee you. You see right here? I'm going to end it right here. See how the tributary, like, they're reaching for each other. They're going to connect. And then it's going to separate this. This is going to become a little tiny island, or it's just going to disappear. It's going to float out into the ocean. Who knows? But basically, what we're seeing here, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what I think is going on. Let me see. This is my theory. And when I was talking to this person on Skype, this is the amazing thing. I've always had this theory in my head, but I never really shared it with people because I knew it was outlandish. But when this person said the same thing to me without me ever saying it to anyone, we were on the same page, and I'm like, wow, you observed that too? I was like, no one's ever said that. How long is this? 9 minutes? Okay, perfect. I was like, I've never heard anybody say it, but then they're pointing me through everything. They're showing me all kinds of things around the world, and they made it make more sense than I did. And I'm like, I love you. So here we go. So basically, what I think is happening, and I'm just talking about the process. I'm not talking about what is happening. I'm talking about the process and what we're seeing. So this is a good example right here. So first, before our shift started happening, the land was like this. Okay, it was desert. It was red. It was like this. There's nothing wrong with it. Boom, we're good. Then boom, the shift started happening. Something said, I'm going to change Australia. I'm going to make it into a body of water. And they have to do it over time. So it started all of a sudden, this organic motherboard. I love that name, by the way. It just started producing water. But it's not just going to rain, because where's this water going to come from in rain? So basically, and I'm making shit up when I say that, by the way. I'm just theorizing. So we saw that land right here. Boom. It was cool. And then the shift happened. We shifted, and then you see this little dark spot? Well, under the ground, I'm just talking crap, by the way, it's just a theory. I have a feeling the water is seeping from under the ground through an organic motherboard type of deal. I don't know what it is. So this was the first stage, and then we shifted, and then the ground got saturated, and then more vegetation grew, and then we shifted, and then we saw something like this. The saturation got greater, right? And it just keeps shifting. Then we shifted again, and then boom, and started filling up slowly and started reaching out. You see how it's reaching there, right? Then we shifted again, then boom, it turned into this with a little lake in there, because the land is always, uneven. So there's always going to be a little island. And this is very tiny, by the way. And then then we shifted again, then there's a bunch of islands, then we shifted again, then it merged into these two giant, lakes, and then we shifted again, then it merged into these giant lakes, then we shifted again, and then it merged into this long lake right here. You see how they're all forming. We shifted again, then it formed these things right here. Then we shifted again, then it grew into this, right? Or all this grew in one shift. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's what it looks like. Okay. Take anything that soaks up, anything, and watch the pattern. Like get a little pile of water on the floor and throw a big dishcloth on it and watch how it absorbs the water. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing that type of pattern. You're just seeing the center just expand. And then eventually it gets too saturated, then water starts appearing. You know what I mean? That's how I feel is happening to Canada and Australia and probably many more places all over the world. I urge you guys, please get Google Earth, download it, and start investigating. You guys could do your own searches, but I think this is Lake Yamayama. There's one, it's called Yamayama. Oh no, okay, I marked this because it's not a lake. It's just a series of rivers. Like, these are all little rivers. Okay? That's insane. Okay? Tiny little rivers, not giant ones, but they all gonna merge and do something funky. What's going on there? Alright guys, video's long enough. I've gotten my point across. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I have presented what I have wanted to present it. I'm showing you guys the things that I observe, okay? And I'm just showing them, and I'm repeating to you what I am observing. I'm not telling you what's going on. It's up for you. It's up to you to make this into what you want, and it's your perspective. I just really hope you guys see what I'm trying to point out, that Canada's in a lot of trouble. It's not in a lot of trouble if you're not full of fear. I see that Canada's going under. I love Canada. It's my country. I grew up in Canada, but I don't mind it disappearing like this, because I know the people that are all here living there, something good's going to happen to them, okay? I just have a feeling. I'm not worried about that type of stuff like, oh my God, disaster. I don't ever go down that road when it comes to this. I'm like, there's a plan. Those people are going to be okay. We don't know, but don't be all worried. Don't be like, oh my God, I live in Kapuskasing, Casing, and like Kapuskasing Casing is a tiny little town in Ottawa, and unfortunately it's in the area where it's going to be flooded. Don't be like, oh my God, I live in Kapuskasing, Casing. Please, you're telling me my whole town's going to be flooded. I'm going to die? No, something's going to happen before that, and it's going to be a good thing, a very good thing, a very positive thing. I'm telling you. I'm not going to promise because I don't know, and that'd just be really stupid of me, but I have a really good feeling in my heart, in my soul, in my stomach that all this is good. And no, we're not going to get wiped out. No fear mongering on this channel. I guarantee you it's all love. Okay? So let me know what you guys think on this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm telling you, the land from down under. Or is it land down under? Is it from? Wait, I'm sorry. There's an ignorant part in me that needs to be corrected. The land down. Okay. The land down under is becoming the land going under. Alright. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. I love you. And can't wait to hear from you guys. Lone Eagle 112358. Oh, that was a fail spin. Peace. Oh yeah, I'm not on my desktop. Shit. So that's my little theory. I put out a video a long time ago. I said, watch out guys, the world is being flooded. Okay, no joke. I'm still standing by that theory. Not the whole world like Noah's flood, not like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about we're getting new land too. Remember who I said in all my videos. This whole ocean, this whole part of the ocean, Pacific, was just only the Hawaiian Islands were there, with maybe Christmas Island and Easter Island and maybe a couple spotty other islands. But now there's islands everywhere. Like all these seamounts you see on the... Good day everybody, this is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very, very, very much. Really do. So today's video is going to be on Australia and how I think it's... how I think the land down under is going down under. So I'm going to start with Canada. I put out a video a couple months ago called Uh-oh Canada, or no wait, it was called Canada H2O. Link is in the description. I'm talking about how I am observing, okay, all of this of Canada just seems to be, and you notice how I dodged Ottawa there? Sweet. It's just being engulfed with water, okay? And whenever this journey we're on ends, I have a feeling all of this is going to be lake or ocean or whatever. I'm only saying this because each time we shift, Canada, the northern part of Canada, all the northern parts, like just all along right here, the coast, all around Hudson Bay and James Bay, it's just lakes. Like, look at this. Like, look at, like, really take the time to think of how large this scale is. That's 37 miles, okay? But it's everywhere. Just take your time. Go get Google Earth. Take your time to scan all of Canada. Like, look at this. That's freaking ridiculous. Like, look at that. Okay? It's getting worse and worse. I could do this in Manitoba. Like, look at Manitoba. Look how spotty that is. I could do this in Northern Ontario. Look how spotty it is. I could do this in northern Quebec and all over Quebec actually. Alright. But around all those little white dots, those were never there before. This large gash right here, light blue stuff, these two long gashes, never there before. So in the ocean we have new land. On land we have new water. So let's look at Australia. Let's notice two things about Australia now these days that I noticed. So I love Australia for two reasons. One, I love the people there. I think they're really cool, chill, okay? Two, I love the landscape. Guys, if you know my channel, you know I love going to the States and I go to Arizona.